fourth wall.
What up? What up? What up? I hit this fucking graphic on top of our face by accident again, but we are live. AEW Dynamite post show.
This time.
4 people for Dynamite. It's been a while. What up, though? What up? What did y'all? Let's I was gonna say let's introduce ourselves, but we all got names on our faces. Y'all know who it is. Nick, Greg from our lovely Dershi Radio flagship podcast, and Caesar, who's with us every week. And we're here to talk about AEW Dynamite. I guess we can start off with that banging ass contract signing. What the fuck? That was awesome.
Signed with blood.
Add pen.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Samoa Joe and Swerve Strickland. They come out here and they have a pretty sick back and forth. Samoa Joe hits Swerve with this fucking fire ass Meek Mill. I mean, I guess not really a Meek Mill reference, a fucking Diddy reference. He's like, I'm gonna beat you down and leave you so emotionally scarred that it'll be like you left Diddy's party too late or something like that. And it was fucking hot. And they eventually do get into the brawl of it all. Joe gets the advantage, takes out.
That is a line that would have gotten you suspended in the other company.
I don't even think they could say the word brawl. I don't think you heard them use that word.
No.
I'm sure there's a list of words they can and can't use, as there always is.
Brawler.
I keep thinking of Abraham Washington getting.
Yeah, that was exactly what I thought.
That Kobe line.
Okay, but he took it a little too fucking far. Right? That was a little much.
Did he?
Michael says the Silver Surfer casting sucks. Well, I don't know that I have a lot of time to talk about it, but I'll just say that we'll see. She's an up and coming actress, and it's a big deal. We'll see. But that fucking contract signing,
it might not be the Silver Surfer you're thinking of.
That's the truth. Speaking of contracts, like I said, they get into it. They start beating the shit out of each other. Joe gets the advantage. He takes out Swerve.
It's not a cries.
Thinks he's over, and then you hear Swerve laughing on the mic. Is that's all you got?
I feel like we need to point out the whole part where he went to choke Joe with the chain and he just disregarded it.
Yeah. His neck is too large.
Samoa neck too strong.
And he busts him over the head with his own chain too, which is like, wait a minute, you brought the weapon here. How'd you let this happen? Anyway. Joe thinks it's over. He walks away. Swerve starts laughing into the mic. He says, if that's all you got, and I'm taking your world championship. I love this shit. Then he puts the pen to his head, signs the contract in his own blood. Excellent fucking segment. Joe comes back and kills him anyway. but Swerve stood there. Like he just stood there like accepting it. Like, I don't give a fuck. If that's all you got, then I know what's coming. And that's a pretty cool aspect of Swerve to set up right now, because it makes it real. Like, Joe is such a big, scary dude that it's like, man, a clean win over him has to come from someone that's equally intimidating. So at least setting Swerve up as this nut job who can take all the beating and still stand up. It's it'll be pretty sick for his son for the pay-per-view. What are your guys' thoughts on this closing segment of the show?
Where was the Mogul Embassy?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know that. Because in story, one time he told Nana, like, don't let them come out. And then they never came out with him again. They just never came out with Swerve again.
I'm just saying, during the Hangman feud, we've had moments where he was just like, I don't want any of them coming out. And then Brian Cage would come out.
To be fair, though, he was still a heel back then. I think now it's different because he's got morals. I guess he crossed he comes out the moral tunnel.
This too, I think the moral tunnel. I think it'd be really fun to have a singles match with Samoa Joe and Toa Leona coming from all this.
I would have loved to see him with either all the members of the Mogul Embassy could have had something to go with Joe. Brian Cage even would have had a good match with Joe. Have they had one
more with that? John really just wants to get like Samoa Joe versus Khan on screen.
I'm saying meat. Anyway, so are we all in agreement that Swerve kind of has to win? Like, this is the one? Is this the one?
I think so.
Does Adam Page believe it's the one?
Well, no, Adam Page does.
He's
Adam Page is gonna become a borderline racist soon. I swear, he's gonna come back and say something that he's gonna regret. I didn't mean it that way. No, I think you did.
Listen, all I'm saying is if Adam Page shows up to a pay-per-view called Dynasty with a white suit and a noose, something's going wrong.
Stop him! You can't call him the Hangman anymore. It's just not right. Anyway,
Adam Page.
It's live. We can't
Think
stop.
of
Did
the
you? I
optics.
just you mentioned
PR
AEW
quits
Dynasty, and I thought to myself, did you notice tonight there was like a pretty loud MJF chant midway through
Yeah,
the
it
was,
segment?
yeah.
I think they were
loud about it.
they were talking about the dynasty of AEW wrestlers, right? Like they mentioned Mercedes, they mentioned Okada, they mentioned Ospreay, and the crowd is like, "What the fuck? You forgot MJF?"
MJF. And they don't even.
It honestly was
acknowledge
it was
it
an
either.
interesting moment. They both smiled though, like this crazy, like look at my boy. I thought it was an interesting moment because there had been such like a negative sentiment about him online and the end of his title reign. And I'm just I am glad to see that the crowd is not all internet smarts and fucking they have their own feelings. I'm glad to see people still care about MJF because I still care about MJF. I would love to see him amongst this new I mean, it's only been like fucking 4 months since he's been gone, but it feels like he's going to return
Feels
to
like
a whole different kind of company. I'd like to see him here now. But yeah, but before we move on, who didn't get to talk about this segment? I would like to make sure everyone got a chance to speak before we move on. I've been told that I don't get to do that.
Oh no, I do want to say that with, like you said, MJF hasn't been seen, and it's only been 4 months. It feels like it's longer, but when you think about it, MJF's last appearance was on the good old sports entertainment style AEW, and we haven't seen him in the new era where they went back to the old school AEW way.
I would not be mad if he comes back and just goes after Swerve, and like we just ignore the like the Undisputed Kingdom thing. Like we fucked
like
it so
everyone else.
bad already.
Yeah.
Like you ignored it when you were supposed to be using it. Like I don't want to see you come try to make it serious now. Like we fucked up. All right, this is fucked up.
The group that formed, the super group that formed together to fight them, didn't even want to deal with them.
No.
Yeah, let's just move. If MJF just came back and decided, I want the title, I would not even ask questions. I'd be like, yeah, he's right. He lost the championship. I don't know how, but he wants it back.
I remember
That's
even
it. Give it to
Hangman
him.
ignored them too when he came back.
What about Adam Cole? What about him?
When's he
He even
back?
said, like, I mean, I guess at least it was addressed on TV. Hangman was like, Joe is the one that sent them after me, so I'm gonna get his ass instead. But I would prefer that we just drop the whole thing. Which, by the way, none of it tonight. So interesting.
Thank you.
Rest in peace, Wardlow.
So if that's all for tonight's
Kingdom.
closing segment, then let's cope in the show. Adam Copeland, fucking Nick. He's
Why am I getting
fucked me with his damn pun. Adam Copeland opens the show with
you loved it.
Okay, so I guess this is gonna be like the big story coming out tonight, other than amongst the people that don't actually watch the show, which is the funniest thing. So Adam Copeland comes out and he opens the show with a promo that essentially puts over the company, puts over the locker room, puts over the elite, puts over Tony Khan, says AEW is the fun place to be. AEW is where the best wrestle. He said it, he put his whole face in the camera. Where the best wrestle. And then he kind of calls out Ospreay and he gives him the old. I thought this was a cool shot. It was just cool to see young wrestlers get not like a torch handed to them, but symbolically. Anyway, it was. I want to know what you guys think before I talk about it. What did y'all think of him coming out here to cut that promo in what I think is response to the Ariel Helwani interview?
I mean, you got so much going into it from I'm sorry, Greg, the like toxicity with the CM Punk interview that everyone's been talking about, and then on top of that, there's a lot of other stuff coming up from all the recent releases that just happened as well. So there's a lot of bad publicity, bad press for AEW out there right now, and as long as they spell your name right, there's no such thing as bad publicity necessarily, but I think this was the right move, is to have someone, especially someone like Cope in the show, so to speak, and be that person that steps up to the plate that everyone loves and respects unanimously. And if it wasn't going to be Cope, it should have been Danielson. So either way,
it should have been Mox. I thought it should have been Mox. But Mox is like my Mr. AEW. Like that's who when CM Punk did the interview and it finished, I spoke with friends and I was like, they should send Mox out there to open the show on Wednesday and have him cut like a
what are those?
France. Some France. I see London, I see France. And I literally said, man, they should send Mox out there. But I don't even know, like, because it's so weird. Like, if they sent Edge out there, I feel weird about it. And I feel like maybe we should have ignored it. But if Edge came up to Tony and he's like, listen, I want to open this show, just let me say these things. Then it kind of it'll be better for me, like, to swallow. Like, it's a cooler moment. If somebody
tells Tony anything, it's just like, just let me go out there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just give me a couple minutes, Tony. Let me do this real fast. I'll introduce the first match. If that's how it happened, that's really cool, and I think that's an awesome thing that happened, and that's a great promo because it was a great promo. I mean, I didn't have an issue with it. Felt good. Was good. I don't know if it was written, but it was delivered great. It was fucking great. I guess the only thing people are like, man, that was cringe. They didn't have to do it. And if they formatted Edge to go out there to cut that promo, then I actually might agree. But if Edge just literally decided, like, man, that's some bullshit, what the fuck he was saying. Like, I came over here, I chose to come over here, and I am a fucking 20-year, 40-year fucking veteran. Let me go out there and speak. Then it was a really cool moment. So I guess that may be a question I'll never get answered for me. But Greg, did you get to give a real answer here?
No, I tried to jump in front as to say that I couldn't give one because I missed the first 15 minutes, so I didn't show up till I didn't get into the show until Ospreay and Powerhouse.
Okay, so you missed it. Interesting.
That said, I do think it's amusing that you described the segment as like somebody who discovered a band, kind of liked them, and then found out that they were put together by the studio.
I'm saying, right? Oh, that's an interesting message. Oh, it's a corporate machine.
I don't like it anymore.
No, okay, listen. I don't have an issue with it. Even if they formatted it, I don't have an issue with responding to it. It just it's really not genuine. If somebody told Edge to go out there and thank Tony Khan, like, that's so weird. Like, who wrote that? Tony Khan?
Tony Khan, like, can you go out there and thank me?
I need you to go out there and say these words.
So I almost don't believe that that's what happened because it doesn't. I refuse. It could be. It really could be. I always say 98% sure because there's a 2% chance that any fucking thing is possible. But
which is 1% more chance than Bruce Wayne gave.
Oh my god!
Well, right, but if like it felt like Edge went up there and he was like, "Just give me a couple minutes, and let me say this," and that was like, I choose to believe that's what happened, and I choose to enjoy this promo because of that.
I just liked how it was like they did the whole promo, and then he basically kind of threw it to Will and said, "And now to this."
And now let's wrestle.
Yeah, and now for some ass kicking.
Yeah. That was exactly how it felt. Like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna address this shit. That was some bullshit. Fuck that. AEW still a shit. Right. And now let's show you why. And then Ospreay and Hobbs come out.
It's like one of the bumps from Monty Python. It's like, and now for something completely different. Moving.
Holy Grail. That was a good movie.
I'm still laughing at Cope in the show. I'm proud of that one. I'm gonna self high five that.
I am amused at how like we have rejected the idea of calling him Adam Copeland so much that we've just adopted this Cope name.
Copeland. They use it.
Like whatever sells t-shirts.
Listen, it works, man. So Ospreay
even he
and
was
Hobbs,
awkward about the Copeland thing. He didn't know how to say it.
The battle of wills.
What'd you think of how he said Ospreay? Ospreay,
yeah,
over and over again.
Ospreay.
It's not a Canadian thing.
Okay, that was what I was getting ready to ask.
I was gonna ask.
That was my thought too. I was like, maybe it's Canadian thing.
No, it's not. I swear. We say Ospreay.
Anyway.
I'm thinking of it. I'm thinking of it as like maybe it's the British thing, like how Rigo says Triple H.
That's what I thought, but no, it looks like he's just being a funny guy. That's his innocent rib. I don't shit in bags. I say your name wrong.
Ooh, can we appreciate too when he gave the little shout out to when he was growing up watching those like early like the 80s NWA and whatnot. That got a huge cheer.
Mm-hmm. It did. It shows you the kind of fans that's in the crowd, I guess. Mm-hmm. But Ospreay and Hobbs.
80s AWA when it was out.
Not when it was out for sure, but that's what the fuck YouTube's for, man.
Exactly.
Damn.
They got a lot of that stuff up on there.
What did y'all think of this match?
And the WWE Network when it was good.
Oh, I enjoyed the Battle of Wills. This was great. And it makes me just want to reiterate the fact that, number one, Hobbs somehow, some way always looks more and more jacked every week. Number two, Hobbs needs to be a perpetual champion in AEW. I love him so much. He is awesome. And as a Chicago guy, I want to give a huge shout out to Don Callis being the self-proclaimed Phil Jackson of wrestling.
Oh my God.
That's excellent. I agree with you about Hobbs, man. We should be doing so much more with Hobbs. I really believe so. I don't know if he don't got the right people behind him pitching things for him or what the fuck, or maybe he can't come up with them himself. But somebody come up with something, god damn it.
Whatever happened to the Book of Hobbs? What happened to that?
They threw that shit away.
It was too heavy to carry.
It's like 3 pages and that's it.
The Book of Hobbs said, "Oh, what the fuck? This last page says join QT Marshall."
Just skip.
Wait,
tag team with Aaron Solo.
So, like Nick, if Don Callis is the Phil Jackson of professional wrestling, does that make QT Marshall Pat Riley?
Yeah.
Oh God, that's so terrible.
And canceled.
Great. I thought it was a great match. I thought it was interesting to have. Somebody brought up a point that I don't know if I agreed with, but I did think it had some merit. Where it was interesting that AEW chose
my favorite points
to have Ospreay and Bryan both do David and Goliath matches to top each other, and it kind of makes them look like because they both had to do matches back to back where they get the shit beat out of them for like 60%. And then somebody was like, how am I supposed to believe these are the two best wrestlers in the fucking world? They both just got their ass beat for the entire fucking match back to back. And I was like, fuck. You got a good point.
But that also happened on the third match too.
Oh, fuck. I didn't even realize that. They were just like, everybody go out there and die tonight. No, but I don't know if I agree because I guess
what I remember from that match at this point right now is like Lance Archer just seething in the corner while Bryan kicks him incessantly.
He got some stuff in as he does, but I mean it was a lot of Lance Archer kicking the shit out of Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay getting the shit beat out of him by Hobbs. But the interesting story in this Battle of the Wills is that Ospreay continues to fall away from
George Lucas out of this.
He keeps falling away from the fucking Don Callis family. Particularly, well, the match was great. Ospreay gets a slap in his face. He wins. Hobbs wants to fight him. Fuck you! You pinned me, you son of a bitch.
To be fair, Ospreay did land on Hobbs' face.
He landed on his face. Did you see that shit?
That was brutal.
I don't blame Hobbs on that one.
Yeah. That definitely deserves a reaction, especially it's like bam.
Yeah, no, they are the. I know. I remember the commentator were needling them a little bit because Don Callis refers to as an Ospreay as the Golden Boy. He's like, "What's that make Hobbs?" Like, "Oh, what are you talking about?"
He also whispered something into Hobbs' ear to get him to calm down.
I'm gonna make you bleed.
Don't worry, like we're gonna kill this guy later or something. Because Hobbs just kind of took it and walked away. And
he just whispers, "Don't worry, it could have been worse. You could have still been with QT Marshall."
Oh,
I have peanut butter sandwiches in the back. And
Hobbs
was like, "Oh, all right."
I saved the chocolate table from the catering.
Oh, I'm on my way. You're lucky, little man. You're lucky. They got chocolate in the catering room. So
said you saved my cornbread.
They had Ospreay's on his way out. Brian comes out of the tunnel. They give each other the old
timing.
top dat. And then Brian gets his ass charger for like 10 minutes. He does finally come back.
Maybe that's why Brian felt at the top that he had to actually get an equal whooping.
I thought it was funny that the finish had Brian. It's like you set up like a camera and it falls over or something. Like he set up Archer for the Busaiku kick, but when he comes in, he's still too alive. So he just has to kick the shit out of him like 30 seconds. Let's try that again. It's like great
constantly
finish,
hitting the big man in the hamstrings.
Brian is great at making a big man look big, even if it's Lance Archer, who's awesome, but they fucking use him as a jobber mostly. He made him look like a threat and like somebody who can actually win tonight, even though he did.
Absolutely. Hey, just don't forget about my man Jim McGillicuddy, who had to get power bombed onto Danielson.
What?
I forgot that happened.
And Taz is just like, oh, I like that guy.
He just grabs the random fucking security, or was he like a security camera? I'm sure he was a wrestler, but what was he meant? What was he meant to be?
I think he was supposed to be like a tech crew guy.
Yeah,
get the fuck out the way, weirdo. Anyway, great shit from them to.
You're gonna end up like the tech guy that Mark Henry threw into the abyss.
We just lost.
That happened. What are you gonna say, Caesar?
I was gonna say, so what's the word with the whole yes movement over now on this side of the fence with Danielson?
Oh, well, it was a promise that he made to Vince McMahon and Kevin Dunn that he wouldn't do it because there's no legal thing that can stop him from doing that, but he felt a loyalty to them. And then it came out that Vince is a predator. And you noticed that he was like, well, fuck it. I'll use it as much as I want. Yeah.
He did.
He just has.
I was like, oh.
And he just has been using it since then, which is fine. I don't mind. The crowd people want to do it. They've been doing it anyway for him forever. So giving it back to him. It's funny because before he started using it regularly, he actually did a cool moment where he just used it in Japan. But it's like I've always wanted to do this here, so he just did it. But
Hi.
Now he took it. Now he took it away. Now he took the special moment away. But fuck it, it's fine. It's still fine if you remember the context.
But then he got to do the no in Mexico.
Oh, that was awesome. That match was actually awesome. If you haven't seen that, just that show, I'd never seen a CMLL show before. Admittedly,
it was good then, wasn't it?
It was great.
Chances are that CMLL show was a lot better than most CMLL shows.
Than most AAA shows I've ever seen.
Reel it in.
Oh.
No, well, I've been hearing for a while now from people that CMLL has great fucking wrestling and hot crowds. And that was the biggest thing I noticed on Friday. Like, the audience was incredible. I have never heard a crowd like that. They were just, it was like, there was no moments of silence. Instead of silence, the ground was noise. Like there was a ground, but it was noise. It was noise. That was the quietest it got. People still cheering almost endlessly. Like when do you breathe?
They have like the noise machines?
Yeah. No, it's just people like
speakers.
Okay.
People. It was all because it sounds like people. It doesn't sound like a bullshit. You hear like people blowing horns.
Sometimes they have those jackasses with the horns.
They have those too. That's awesome. Okay. It made it sound like a whole other environment. I was like, I gotta see more of this shit. And then Brian is a maniac. The guy fucking what'd they do? Mexico, fly to Canada for fucking Collision, go home for 3 minutes, fly to where are they tonight? Massachusetts. Fly back to Mexico on Friday. Is he wrestling on Saturday again? Take this man home. Where's Bree? Where the fuck is his wife?
AI. She's an AI.
Jesus. But that was awesome, and this was awesome, and then we went to something that was a little less awesome, a little awkward.
Little.
Jericho calls out Hook,
who did not even look like Hook.
Came out Hook.
He looked bored. But
get a nap.
Jericho calls out Hook, and he comes out to booze, which I was like, oh, there they go. And it doesn't feel like, oh, the crowd knows he's about to turn heel. Oh shit! It feels like, like it's like this is not good. So, how do y'all feel about this Jericho? Not just this segment, but the idea that he doesn't have anything to offer right now. Is that a weird thing to say?
It's a weird thing to say, but it's one I'm actually kind of ready to agree with. Chris Jericho having nothing to offer just sounds like the last year he's had.
That's kind of painful. How do you, Nick?
I lean towards yes. I think he'll perpetually always still give that name value that you get from Chris Jericho, but it doesn't feel like it's anything fresh from him anymore. So it just kind of is a little underwhelming, and it sucks to see Hook, because we basically watched Hook's entire wrestling career just for the last couple of years now, and I don't want to see it stall in any type of way like it feels like it's going to do with Lion Hook.
Yeah. Caesar, do you agree?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. What I was gonna say is maybe let it go all the way till Dynasty and then like break it off or write him off or something.
I think and I think it's been said before, and I've also said it before, probably on one of these shows, but Chris Jericho used to be a guy who knew when to go away and then come back refreshed. That used to be his thing. He used to disappear and then go do rock star shit and then come back with a new gimmick. And it kind of hasn't been that. Like, it's been 5 straight years, and the thing that he has just kind of ran its course. And now he's calling himself Lionheart, but it's not anything different from what he already does.
Come on, baby.
It's just a different theme song. It's not a different character.
It's not even really a different theme song either.
Yeah, it's all old. It's stuff we've all seen before.
People aren't enjoying him anymore. And at first I thought, well, it's the internet, right? You can't lean your whole opinion or you can't form your whole picture based on just what you read on the internet, because there's a much larger audience. But you're starting to hear it now in the crowds and the arenas too, and you're kind of starting to feel it as a fan. It's like a little sad. And I don't think this is like ruining his legacy right now or anything like that, but it sucks not being excited to see Chris Jericho. Like, that really stings. He was like one of my favorites.
Yeah, it almost feels too like they've set up like almost an easy out here if it goes any further south, in the fact that Hook is just like, that, and just the fact that Hook's like, I don't trust you. I know who you are.
See, what do you guys think would happen?
I wish someone would have taken that route with the Young Bucks.
What do you guys think would happen if, like, after like a match, Hook just like clocked Jericho with the belt? Would he get booed or cheered?
No, they cheer him really hard. That's the fucked up thing. Like,
yeah,
it's sad to see that. Anyway. I think that I think they should just take him off TV, but that doesn't mean like send him home. I just mean like, I think like he should maybe go away for a little while, make people miss him. Work in the back. Fucking lend your talents to creative.
He does as a commentary on Rampage a lot.
Commentary on Dynamite. Do it on Dynamite.
Yeah, I don't know if I want him on Dynamite doing commentary.
I can't hear.
I can't listen to 2 hours of yelling
anymore, because I cannot differentiate Jericho doing commentary from his Southpaw regional wrestling character.
I missed that. Southpaw was great. It was some of the most fun I've had as a WWE fan in an era where it was hard to be a fan.
Yeah, the matches they put together on that show is just like, I want to see this more than anything on Raw.
That was what that era was.
That's the sad part, isn't it?
I want to see Chad Too Bad versus Tex Ferguson. It didn't happen. Then I didn't want to see it.
Sorry.
That's how it goes.
That's what happens when you get what you wish for.
I guess
Anyway,
so.
Yeah,
I feel
It's
rude
like
and
Chinese democracy.
I wanted my ultimate point about this Chris Jericho thing is I feel rude and disrespectful saying something like, "Get him off of my fucking screen." He's Chris Jericho, goddammit. AEW doesn't exist without him doing what he does those first couple of years. He was the name they used to sell to the network, damn.
Yeah.
Not only 20 fucking years of wrestling before that made him a lot of people's favorites before this ever happened.
Years worth of charity work that still continues, by the way.
He's a great guy. I mean, in regards to the fact that he takes care of wrestlers that are his friends and things like that. You've seen him help a lot of people. I know a lot of people are weird about his politics, and I'm like, I don't
Some people are concerned where his wife was on January 6th.
Where was Dewey? Anyway, that's not not here. the idea is
it's skyrocketing right now.
Wrestlers. Anyway, wrestling wise.
Wrestling.
Right? So I don't know what the fuck to get rid of him or not, but this sucks.
It's weird.
How do we refresh this? Does he have anything to turn around?
I feel like there's a lot of guys who got stuck in that thing that we started to call the Jericho Vortex every time they get into a program with him.
The JAS.
He's so well-meaning. People think he's trying to latch on to these
in a
kids.
Chris Jericho feud for 6 months.
He's trying. I know he's trying. I know he's literally trying. He thinks he's trying, man. He really is. I know they're like, he's trying to steal their heat. It's like, nah, damn it. I've seen that.
Mimosas.
I've seen that, and this wasn't that. He's trying, but
it's
a
Monster Energy drink match.
We'll move on.
Oh my god.
Big container of Monster.
Jay White and Billy Gunn. This is funny. It was like 10 minutes in a row. Third one in a row. Billy Gunn beats the dog shit out of Jay White. He drags him. Basically this picture.
I wrote in my notes for this. I called it the annihilation of the home invasion.
Oh my god.
It was funny because they did the thing where they try to distract him with his beat down partners and he just doesn't give a fuck. He's like, that's their problem. And it just keeps on beating the shit out of Jay White. Great moment. It was like a subversion of the trope real fast because I was like, why didn't he leave? I put my head down because I just expected him to run to the back and I look up and he's still beating on Jay White. I was like, whoa, shit.
I was like, yes, this makes sense.
Right? They can handle it. They're two grown men.
They're grown men. This man almost destroyed my TV.
So the Bullet Club Gold comes out and they save Jay White. He gets himself disqualified. Did you notice they randomly had new 6-man tag team championship belts?
Yeah.
Oh,
I did not.
I didn't either.
Yeah, check those out.
Those are cool.
Random as hell. I didn't even think it was needed, but they look really nice. What did you guys think of this?
That tells me they're probably not going to do a unification.
Yeah.
Yeah, that says that. But what do you think of how we're using Jay White right now? That's a big conversation topic.
I was a little disappointed, but I was really big on that whole period where he stole the belt and was hanging around like he was the top guy.
That was fun.
Yeah, I remember that.
The belt looked really good on him too. I appreciate an aesthetic. Yeah, I'm kind of down for top heel Jay White, and I don't think there's any room for that right now. So it's disappointing that they seem to not know what to do with him without that.
I'm still so. I feel like not doing the Bang Bang Scissor Gang versus fucking Undisputed Kingdom left all those guys in a weird place. All fucking 12, maybe 12 men. God damn it. 12 dudes on the roster. They're all in this weird stasis. Like, I don't know what the fuck to do with y'all. Roddy's got the belt, but they're not doing anything real with him. He's been kind of teasing towards his Kyle O'Reilly, I guess, breakup or eventual match. But for himself, that just makes him a supporting character in a Kyle O'Reilly story where he was just a supporting character in fucking Adam Cole and MJF story. So they gave him the belt, but he's still a nothing supporting character. So it's like, what are we doing?
That's the supporting character to someone that will be a contender.
He did.
Isn't that
stop going.
weird? Isn't that weird? God damn it! So such issues. I
want to say too, poor Aubrey Edwards having to keep up with all of that, and I love commentary being like, "Oh, she knows the energy going into this, so she's going to be a little more lenient." A man did break into a house,
and lenient she was. That match went on a little long, I thought, but I guess they got the point across.
They were in the
he said it was the worst Dynamite match in history.
What? No,
I don't know.
I don't know. I thought like
I'm trying to go back through.
A bit much.
I'm sure Peter Avalon had a match on Dynamite somewhere.
I'm saying. I'm sure there's been worse matches. I'll go back. The Wingmen?
Yeah.
JD Drake.
Please don't bring them up. It's really sad.
The thing he would pull him on, that was hilarious.
Dark times.
Willow. I love Willow Nightingale. Always had
the ray of sunshine, as Renee called her.
She comes out and she gives her bubbly promo. I'm gonna fucking fight for the TNT title, and then Mercedes interrupts. Bang, baby,
with a microphone.
Announces that she will have a shot at the winner of Willow Nightingale versus Julia Hart, and I feel like that confirms what I thought. Like she's not cleared. So
not yet.
I don't got a problem with debuting her before she's cleared. I just think if we knew that she wasn't cleared, it wouldn't be the expectation. Like I wouldn't feel weird about seeing her do commentary and come out and do matches because we waited for a fucking year and she finally debuts and nobody says she isn't cleared. So you figure she came back after a year, she's good to go, right? Throw her in the match, damn it. The fucking 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks almost. And it's not here yet. So that's when I started to say, well, she's definitely not ready yet. Or maybe they're being really cautious. But I think if that's the case, then being a little overly cautious. Yeah. Could have had 1 or 2 matches on TV. Fuck.
I'm going to go and pop that graphic back up there again. Look, I love interviews from this angle where it sees and shows the whole crowd. It reminds me of those like early 90s WCW interviews that they used to do. So I just really appreciate that. And I hope they continue to do those.
That is really good. I used to like when commentary was up on the stage and they would turn around to do the, oh gosh, my daughter is screaming.
She supports commentary.
That's
I thought of the old WWF platform near the entryway that they used to have for the interviews, like Hogan telling DiBiase hell no when he wants to buy the belt.
Warrior and Sherry up on there.
That's right.
They used
all
to
the
have
stages
that
used to be up there.
Yeah.
All the shows used to be up on the stage. Bring that back.
Yes.
In-ring TV shows suck. They don't look like a studio.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to like 1991 WCW when they had like the stage and then the long path that leads right up to the ring.
Yes.
The one that AEW wrestlers can't be trusted with because they keep tripping and falling.
Leaping off and hurting themselves. It's the craziest thing.
Brian got sucked into one.
That's the leap of faith. Might as well call it.
You can't even say it was a generational thing because Arn kept falling off of it too.
Misawa tried to kill Kobashi off of one time. Yeah, maybe we should do away with the stage ramps. I just think
I thought Wada tried to put Misawa through one.
Bam Bam
put Taz through one.
Put Taz through one. And threw him off the side of one. Right through a fucking
been thrown off of it numerous times.
Jesus. Yeah. I like the stage ramp, but yeah, maybe they're murderous.
Contender the one that goes down, not the one
number
that goes
2 to the NXT parking lot, I guess. Fucking after that. Oh, hey, Sue. We had the fucking Young Bucks versus the EVPs. I love Sue. Get out of here, Joe. Oh my God. She's incredible. Champion. I want a cookie. Anyway, they come out, they have EVP match. They be the best friends. It was a pretty good match. I didn't think it was anything crazy. It was just like, started off slow, ended pretty fun. Young Bucks win. Trent turns on Orange Cassidy.
Running drop kick.
Right? During the hug.
That was great. I thought I really thought they were gonna hug. I had a feeling they were going to turn, and then I figured, they'll do it some other time. And then they did it. So, oh, shit. It's also a little late, maybe. Like, should we have not done this a long time ago? Trent?
Yeah. Trent's always had that tendency to kind of just tiptoe a little too close to that heel line. I mean, remember, too, him distrusting Wheeler Yuta for the longest time for no reason until Yuta betrayed him. But he was right about that.
He was right about that one.
You look at what he did to Danhausen, so much so we haven't seen Danhausen since, apart from Ring of Honor.
That's fucked up. I'm sure people have their conspiracies about that one.
Consistent number one merch seller, Danhausen.
Crazy, right? Interesting situation there with Danhausen. I don't even know what to think of it because it kind of seems obvious what the issue is, but you almost don't want to believe that. Like, oh, no way. But it kind of seems obvious. Like he's CM Punk's friend and he's outspoken and he's selling so much, but they don't want to use him at all. But another way, like he also doesn't fit. He's never really fit the product. And like I remember when he first came in, I thought it was weird. I was like, okay. And then they kind of just used him the way he was amongst everybody else. And I'm like, all right, fine. Like he kind of sticks out, but that's what makes him special. But I guess they can't come to an agreement on how to use him because they teased him coming back. He showed up on TV once, never again.
And let the
crazy
too. When you watch it back, the crowd loves him. In fact, everyone was hoping he would, take JTG's advice and just not look at his phone when those releases were going on. And remember too, with Sir Danhausen. If you guys go back to older podcasts that we've done, we lost Greg on that whole thing. If you
Damn
go
internet,
back, he's back. If you go back to older podcasts, you've heard me say I didn't care for Danhausen. I didn't want him to be signed. I didn't want him on my AEW.
On your AEW,
exactly. I grew to love him. I love that very nice, very evil man, and I want him back. They need to do more with him. He's so much fun. I don't know. I like AEW as that variety show. Exactly.
Oh yeah, those skits are awesome.
I've always seen AEW as a variety show, and I think it does need that comedic relief that Danhausen will consistently bring to the table.
You want to hear about like throwbacks? Where's the BTE title button? I haven't seen it in a while.
There's no BTE. It ended. It's being the Dark Order now.
I missed that belt. It was cool.
They have pretty funny skits on there. It was funny.
Is the Dark Order even still a thing?
On YouTube.
Yeah,
being the Dark Order.
The occasional Rampage.
Always.
Alan Angels have more matches now.
Alan Angels wrestles in Impact, I think.
Yeah, he has more matches though.
Thunderosa and Mariah May. This is a shame because they worked really hard. I thought they beat the shit out of each other, but they really couldn't get the crowd behind them.
So I was thinking about this earlier when you were talking about the differences between like the AEW product now and MJF, and I was like, Toni Storm has found a way to give you both versions of the Toni Storm you want, just not in her physical body.
He's got a point.
Yep.
She's ridiculous. I love her though.
She's like that comic book character that's been split in two.
That's
you have the sports entertainment Toni Storm and the wrestler Toni Storm being played by Mariah May.
Mariah's a great wrestler too. Mariah's a great wrestler. Thunder Rosa, I feel, hasn't been able to reclaim her momentum at all since she's returned. Partly the booking, but also she's moving kind of slow.
She felt a little reckless in this match too.
A little bit, right? What was that about?
Yeah, it seemed like she just didn't care about what happened with Mariah. I was just like,
She wants that belt.
Oh no!
There was a spot last week. Was it last week or a couple weeks ago where was it last week when Mariah May and Toni Storm teamed up against Thunder Rosa and Deanna?
I think so.
Yeah,
I know there was a spot where Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa are on the outside, and Toni Storm knocks the shit out of Thunder Rosa. I think at one point you hear her say, "Jesus!" Like she audibly says, "Like Jesus" to the camera. Jesus. And I'm like, man, I wonder if there's still issues there with Thunder Rosa and working a little stiff. I remember that was an issue last time.
Recently too, she hurt one of the Renegades.
That happened recently? Fuck.
Again?
I think she probably hurt the other Renegade, and then I think she. I didn't think she hurt, but when I was watching the match with Lady Frost, again, it felt the same thing where she felt so reckless. And that's with someone like Lady Frost, who's got that gymnastics background and can easily like flip and do whatever.
Flippy flips.
She's not able to land like a cat with Thunderosa.
They actually, like I said, even with all these issues, they actually did work pretty hard. And they just couldn't get the crowd behind them. I was like, oh, this stinks.
You know who else was working really hard? Luther, because he kept trying to get the podium to sit up.
Yeah,
with the title on.
I didn't notice that.
It just wouldn't work. So he eventually had to hold it behind her to where it was visible, behind Toni Storm.
They damn, I didn't get a shot. You kind of see him there doing it. Kind of see it behind her head.
After they just gave up.
But
apparently just like going to town on it.
They had Penta. They had Alex Abrahantes cut a promo for Penta. Challenged Edge for the TNT title, which is always because it's interesting when they do the open challenge because you usually think the next contender to come out is the guy you're gonna face next. So they came out on Collision and Malachi Black came out and faced Edge down. And you're like, oh shit, all right, here we go. And then Penta gets the title match the next week. So it's like that stinks because it kind of feels like, well, I know Penta's gonna lose. I'm sick of Penta losing these damn title matches.
Give my man a title. He would look so cool with any championship too.
Remember when he won the Impact World Championship and I was like, this is the greatest move, man. I never thought of it. This is awesome. And he lost 24 hours later.
Did he lose it for like less than a day? Yeah.
Fucking hate that company, man. No, they're not. They're all right today.
Penta needs something. He deserves more.
You're okay today. I just had a bit of trauma. But anyway, that was most of the show. That was all the show.
Woo!
Rose, Jesus says Thunderosa is the best. Can't wait for her to join Ruse's faction.
Oh my
I
god.
Thought that's where they were going with it, but then they fired Jose the assistant.
Who's ready to see Jose?
That's really fucked up because I think Rush has a reputation of being temperamental a little bit. He fires bro. Guy he drags around with him everywhere. I don't know how he's gonna want to do business moving forward. I hope that he's still fine. We can do this LFI thing with Thunderosa in there, maybe get some heat behind them, but we'll see.
Because he only just recently re-signed with them too.
He did. All right, jobber of the night, folks. Who do you got?
That's a loaded question.
Oh no.
No.
It's difficult in the sense that we had like 3 matches in a row at the very start of the show where guys were getting destroyed, but then they ended up winning. So you can't really say that necessarily. But I'm going to go with someone that didn't even wrestle a match. I'm going to go with Chris Jericho because it feels wrong to say, but he felt like it felt disappointing to watch him tonight. It felt so underwhelming compared to everything else.
You took mine. Fuck, I was gonna say Chris Jericho.
I hate having to say Chris Jericho as a jobber of the night too, but
you son of a.
I guess I'll go with. It's sad that the girls ended up being the jobbers of the night tonight. Thunderosa and Mariah May. They work so fucking hard, man. That damn crowd just couldn't do it. They were beating the shit out of each other too at one point. Jesus says Orange Cassidy. Boom. Orange Cassidy.
I agree. My jobber of the night is Orange Cassidy for getting betrayed by a dork known as Trent Beretta.
Damn.
I don't know if we use this banner.
That's horrible. Why, Trent? Why? That's right. That son of a bitch.
Next week you're gonna hug it out.
I guess he's just mad. He's just mad he lost, right?
I can see it.
And Chuck Taylor is just deer in the headlights, like, oh my goodness, am I next?
Sue?
He looks so sad. That was a great shot, by the way. I wish I had gotten that. He looked destroyed, but like he couldn't do anything about it.
I have to be a heel now.
Are we bad guys?
Do you change sweatsuits now?
Evil Sue.
So.
arriving in the dark SUV.
He left his mom. He left her there.
Right past her.
Just pouting, and he walked by her.
Unnecessary mother disrespect. We didn't need that.
My
Not on my television show.
No, the mega star of the night will be all mothers everywhere.
You forgot about it.
I know. I just wanted to get that point out there really quick.
That's fucked
Thanks, jerk. I'm mad now.
All right. Caesar's off the show now.
I'll make it short and sweet. My jobber is Hobbs' head for taking that shot from Ospreay. My head still hurts from thinking about that.
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
Now I'm gonna make a star.
All right. We got our megastar of the night, boys. What do you think? What are you thinking?
A lot of options here, fellas.
Ooh,
Again, this is one of the best things. AEW lately has been so fire. There's a lot of options here, but again, another time in a row, I gotta give it to Will.i.am Ospreay. Look at that.
Look at Jericho trying to steal it.
The man, exactly as he tends to. The man is just radiating top star energy. He's doing all of the charity stuff. He feels like he's going to be the John Cena of AEW.
Ooh, is he gonna rap?
Oh, that's great.
Jesus says Joe for that P. Diddy line. That was sick. What are you thinking, Greg?
I was also thinking Samoa Joe, just for being a badass for basically like no selling a chain around his neck.
he really did.
And I also appreciated the idea that like he didn't just let Swerve get one over on him. He was just like, "Oh fuck that shit! I'm kicking this dude's ass again."
Caesar, I was gonna skip you again. That's fucked up.
Why?
Rest in peace, Caesar. We'll miss you.
I'm torn. Like, it's Joe or Ospreay. They're both good points right now, so I'm just gonna give it to both. Like, I can't pick. Like, you guys have both good points, and then I thought about it too. Like, everything was good on both ends. So
Caesar's megastar of the night is the guy who works the hook signal.
No, that lady in the crowd with the Nana sign. There we go.
Oh, I missed that.
That's it.
It was like, I'm here to dance for Nana or something like that. Holy.
I'm gonna go with
popcorn guy.
I'm gonna go with Edge. I'm gonna believe that Edge took it upon himself to cut this promo. That's my headcanon. That's my headcanon, and because I believe that happened, that makes him the megastar tonight to me. I believe he was listening to that interview and he said, "Man, I think that's some bullshit, and I want to go out there and express it." And Tony Khan was like, "Yeah, man, that's fine." And then
was even the show tonight.
and then they let him go do that. That's what I believe. So Edge is my megastar. Adam Copeland, Edge is my megastar.
We need those pyros.
Night.
Again, I want to throw out there too, Swerve. When he signed that in blood, that was so cool.
God damn, how did I not say Swerve?
That was such a cool moment.
Can we just
maniacally laughing?
It's Swerve. Never mind. It's Swerve. Take it back.
Sorry, Cope.
No, he was so good though. He really was. Look at that. Yeah. Megastar of the night. Swerve Strickland.
Mega Evolution Swerve.
Anyway, that is Dynamite. And in case you hadn't noticed, Dershi Radio has partnered, merged with, fell in love with, in a relationship with Comic Book Click. Dershi Radio and Comic Book Click are now operating as one. You'll be seeing Comic Book Click pop culture content all over Dirt Sheet Radio, and you'll be seeing Dirt Sheet Radio on the Comic Book Click website. That's right. I haven't fucking wrote up a lower third for that. Give me a second. Nick, talk about something while I write a lower third.
Say something.
All right. Let me tell you guys, I have been playing some of Halo 2 Ruby's Rebalanced mod, and I've been testing out some things. There's going to be some surprises. Let me just say that. I was trusted with some secrets. So surprises will be there for any Halo player. So go and make sure you check out Ruby's Rebalance Halo 2 mod when the time comes. Hey, guess what? I'm in the middle of plugging stuff. So let's just keep going with that, shall we? MONQ.com. Make sure if you want to have any type of personal aromatherapy diffusers, you will go to MONQ.com. Make sure you use promo code DSR10. That is DSR10. You get 10% off your purchase of Monk Aromatherapy pens. Make sure you go do that. And hey, you know what else you should do?
What?
That's the website right there down below, thecomicbook.com. I'll let John go a little bit into that, but I'm on a roll right now, so I'm just going to keep going and finish this up really quick. We're going to have youtube.com/cold case project. That is my brother's channel. I help on it occasionally here and there, and make sure that you go check out the Cold Case Project. It's a channel that focuses on all kinds of disappearances, murders, and other cold cases. You want to binge some stuff? Hey, go check it out. There's videos that are ranging from 20 minutes to hour long to even 2 hours long. Go get your dose of death
today.
Right now.
There we go. comicbookclick.com/dirt sheet radio. That is our home. We live there now. The social media outlet is where it's so temporary and scary, and you can always get taken away by an errant AI algorithm. That we have a website now. All pop culture and pro wrestling coverage, comic book coverage, all the same shit that we've been posting on social media for all this time. We now exist on a website, comicbookclick.com/dirt sheet radio. Check us out, damn it. And tomorrow morning, Major Issues, the Major Issue Show. I think this might be the very first episode of the Major Issues that we're going to release on video. Did we do that? Have we done that?
Whoa! By them,
it'll be the first episode of Major Issues under the Dirt Sheet Radio and Major Comic Book Click merger banner.
I think we did the one live stream around episode 100.
That's right. I was thinking about one that went live once, but I couldn't be sure if that was it. But yes, God damn it, the Major Issue Show. Check us out tomorrow morning. We're going to be covering Do a Powerbomb, a comic book about professional wrestling, because it's the appropriate thing to do when a comic book organization and a professional wrestling media organization merge. So make sure to check us out tomorrow morning. That'll be probably my last episode for a little while, but that doesn't mean you should stop checking out the Major Issue Show, because we got so much great shit on there. Greg shows up all the time. We'll get some of our Dirt Sheet Radio guys on there eventually too. It's gonna be great. Major Issues every single fucking Thursday. Check us out tonight too. If you're up in the middle of the night, you can catch me, Greg, and Nick doing the flagship Dirt Sheet Radio podcast on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. We're live. We're talking all that shit. And you know what? I got some real shit to say about that CM Punk interview. It's gonna be interesting. Jesus says John hates WWE. I don't hate WWE. Damn it, everybody thinks that already. I love WWE, especially now. They're really fucking good. But I got some shit to say about that CM Punk interview. I'm gonna say it tonight.
That's gonna be it's gonna be the whole episode tonight again.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun one.
He's gonna take over again.
Some shit to say. But yeah, now. Dude, Dirt Sheet Radio, Major Issues, comicbookclick.com, monk.com, the Dolphin Pod podcasts. Check us out. Dolphin Pod podcasts are everywhere podcasts can be found. They specialize in pop culture and cinema. They've got a podcast about movie sequels. They've got a podcast about Marvel movies and Marvel shows and Star Wars shows and Star Wars movies and books and all types of great shit. And nestled up in between all that beautiful stuff is little old Dirt Sheet Radio and that Dolphin Pod network. Dolphin Pod are our podcast daddies. They pay for all this streamcast stuff. So check them out. And that's us this week. Thank you for joining us. Boom.
Yeah.
We'll see you
I'll thank you.
week.
Woo!